Namo Amida Butsu. Questions and answers on faith and Nembutsu. Question: how can I benefit myself and others? How can I serve the Dharma? How can I be truly happy? Answer: if you wish to benefit yourself, entrust to Amida Buddha, say his name in faith, and wish to go to his pure land after death. If you wish to benefit others, help them do the same. If you want to serve Amida Dharma, accept it and teach it with a faithful mind, that is, without changing it according to your personal views and opinions. If you desire happiness, look for it not in samsara, but in the pure land of bliss. Question: faith is hope? Answer: no. Faith is certainty. It is to know you are saved by Amida Buddha and brought to his pure land when you die. You don't hope that. You are sure this will happen. Question: you said that as long as one is not 100% convinced that one cannot obtain Buddhahood in this life, then that person is not ready for the Jodo Shinshu path. Please explain in more detail. Answer: people do not really understand what is meant by becoming a Buddha in this life and in this very body. This is perhaps due to the bad influence of many Buddhist magazines which talk about enlightenment like it's some kind of calmness or stillness of mind which can be attained by everybody. They use a language which makes enlightenment seem a normal human experience if one is good and meditates, and they also describe Shakyamuni, the historical Buddha, as if he is a normal human being who proved that spiritual calmness can be attained by anybody. Well, Shakyamuni was not a human being, and Buddhahood has nothing comparable with any calmness or stillness of mind. This should be well understood. Also, Buddhahood goes beyond any human or godly experience, and so we can say that Shakyamuni was not a human anymore after he attained perfect enlightenment. His outer form remained human, but his mind went beyond any attainments of humans and gods. This is because Buddhahood, or perfect enlightenment, is supreme in the universe. Nothing can compare with a Buddha, fully enlightened one. Buddhahood means, among many things, that you attain the three bodies or aspects, that is ultimate Dharmakaya beyond form, a glorious Sambhogakaya or transcendent body seen only by high-level bodhisattvas, that you can manifest a pure land if you want, perhaps not so great like Amida's, but definitely a better realm than any samsaric realm, that you can know the thoughts of all beings in all worlds, and thus are able to help each one of them according to their specific level of understanding, etc. You can also see and hear them all, and you know all their past lives as well as the many possible ways of development in the never-ending future. I repeat, as I'm not sure it was well understood, I said all beings in all worlds. You know everything about any particular being in the 6 realms of all world systems, from tiny insects to long-living gods, and you can go everywhere in an instant, without even moving yourself from your present location. This means that you can manifest as many Nirmanakayas or transformed accommodated bodies you want in all parts of the universe. Shinran Shonin said the same in Tanisho, quote, "Do those who speak of realizing enlightenment while in this bodily existence manifest various accommodated bodies or Nirmanakayas, possess the Buddha's 32 features and 80 marks, and preach the Dharma to benefit beings like Shakyamuni? It is this that is meant by realizing enlightenment in this life." End quote. Buddhahood also means that you master all practices, Dharma gates, and profound teachings, and are able to teach them all without effort. I don't have the time now to describe the various other supernatural capacities of a Buddha, but I ask you to just contemplate the few mentioned above. Do you still think you can become like this in your present life? If yes, then you are gravely deluded about your real capacities, and thus you cannot yet accept Amida's helping hand that is extended to you. As Master Shan-tao said, Shinjin, or simple faith in Amida Buddha, has two aspects which cannot be overlooked. Quote, first, to believe deeply and unwaveringly that we are actually ordinary beings of karmic evil, subject to birth and death, ever sinking and ever transmigrating in samsara since innumerable kalpas ago, without a chance to escape from it. Second, to believe deeply and unwaveringly that the 48 vows of Amida Buddha enfold sentient beings, enabling them to board his vow power and attain birth in the Pure Land. End quote. This is why I said that when you are 100% convinced you cannot obtain Buddha in this life, then you are ready for the Jodo Shinshu path. As long as you still harbor in your mind the smallest thought of personal merit, or maybe I can kind of thinking, you cannot see and enter the Dharma gate of birth in Amida Buddha's Pure Land. Question. Should faith be always accompanied by special feelings and states of mind? Answer. Give up to any expectations on what you should feel when you receive Shinjin or faith. Stop philosophizing about faith. Stop waiting for special things to happen. Stop thinking that your mind will become stable because one day you will have faith. Even if you are not aware of this, you are confusing Shinjin with some kind of smaller satori or enlightenment, and you're waiting for miracles to happen. But what miracles can happen with an unenlightened mind? Amida Buddha has absolutely no expectation from you, and he offers you his salvation without any condition. So why do you create your own conditions in your head on how Shinjin should be like? Rather than imagining things about Shinjin, you should simply entrust yourself to Amida. Faith does not presuppose any special states of mind. It is just a simple entrusting to Amida Buddha regarding your birth in his Pure Land after death. When you receive faith, you enter the stage of those assured of birth in the Pure Land, as you are, with all your imperfections. Please remember that the cause of your salvation is not in your mind and feelings, but in Amida. This is why you should not associate your feelings with Shinjin or faith. It really does not matter what you feel as long as you simply entrust yourself to Amida. It is Amida's job to save you, not yours, so stop worrying. While you are still in this unenlightened environment, itself the effect of your karma and the collective karma of unenlightened beings, you cannot expect to feel wonderful things in relation with anything. Because your present mind is not yet a Buddha mind, you will always find something to worry about or be sad about, even if you would have everything you want. You will always have ups and downs as long as you are not a Buddha. All that happens when you receive Shinjin or faith is that the seed or the cause of birth in the Pure Land is planted within you by Amida Buddha. Then you become indestructibly connected to Amida and his Pure Land, where you will actually go when the ties with your samsaric body are broken at the time of death. Unlike here, where everything is conducive to more attachments, fears, delusions, and blind passions, because this world is itself the effect of the collective karma of unenlightened beings, there, in the Pure Land, you will naturally attain perfect enlightenment because that land is itself the effect of enlightenment, and everything there is conducive to enlightenment. So if you really want special things to happen, then wait until you're actually born in the Pure Land after death. Now, just entrust to Amida without any expectations regarding your mind and feelings. You're like a person who knows he will soon be released from prison, but until the liberation day arrives, it is normal that he still experiences the sufferings and limitations of prison life. You have been a prisoner of samsara since the beginningless past, and as Shinran said in Tanisho, you're greatly attached to this house of pain. Amida Buddha has never had any expectations from you to act, feel, and think like a free man while you are still in prison. Question. How can I say that I have or don't have Shinjin if there's no special feeling that I should associate it with? Answer. Rather than asking yourself, do I feel the right thing in relation to Shinran or faith, you should better ask, do I accept the real existence of Amida Buddha and his Pure Land? Do I accept Amida Buddha's salvation as promised in his Primal Vow? That is, do I entrust myself completely to him? Do I accept that only Amida Buddha can save me through his power from birth and death, and that nothing which can be found in my unenlightened personality can help me in any way in achieving this goal? If your answer to the above question is yes, I do, then you are a person of faith. So, you're a person of faith not because you feel the right things or because you have an intellectual understanding of all Buddhist concepts, including faith, but because you accept and you know that Amida Buddha and his Pure Land are real, and that he saves you by assuring your birth there after death. When you say, yes, I do, this is Namo Amida Butsu, as the expression of faith. Nothing special is implied here, but only the knowing that you are saved by a real existing Amida Buddha. This knowing may be, of course, accompanied by joy at the first time of the awakening of faith, or from time to time during your daily lives. It is not my intention to deny that joy can accompany faith. All I want to say is that you should not depend on the presence or absence of a particular feeling. Faith is just knowing that you are saved by Amida Buddha. If you are sometimes take great delight in this knowing, or you are simply too overcome by personal difficulties and sorrows, it has absolutely no importance. Faith is faith, no matter whether you are up or down. You are saved by Amida's power, not by your capacity to feel joy or any other feeling. Your personal fears, problems, or difficulties are not important in relation to faith and birth in the Pure Land, because they are part of your unenlightened personality, while faith and birth in the Pure Land are due to Amida's power. The cause of your personal problems, difficulties, fears, and anxieties are your delusions and attachments, while the cause of your faith, saying of the name, and of your birth in the Pure Land is in Amida Buddha's power. This is why it is said in the Tanisho that no evil can hinder the Nembutsu, and no good is superior to the Nembutsu. Nothing which can be found in your unenlightened personality can influence or improve your chances of birth in the Pure Land. Only Amida Buddha can take you there, so cling to him, not to your feelings. Question. So, I should not worry anymore if I don't always have emotional stability. In the past, I used to think that Shinran would finally make me free of any emotional instability in daily life. Answer. There are people who confuse emotional instability with the absence of faith or Shinran, and so they hope that faith will give them some kind of constant emotional stability. However, it is normal for unenlightened beings, and people of faith remain unenlightened until death and birth in the Pure Land, to experience various degrees of emotional instability. It is exactly why Amida urges us to entrust to him and not to our own so-called personal power and personal achievements or merits. Truly, nothing stable can be achieved by an unenlightened mind, especially not nirvana or birth in the Pure Land. Faith will not give us absence of desires while we are still here in our samsaric bodies. Faith will only make us enter the stage of non-retrogression, which means that no matter how many desires we have or how low we are on the scale of spiritual evolution, we will surely reach the Pure Land in the moment of death. Thus, an unenlightened person who entrusts to Amida continues to suffer while still in his or her samsaric body. For a non-Buddha mind, clinging is always present, and so there will always be suffering, dissatisfaction, and some kind of emotional instability. I often say this to my Dharma friends. Shinran or faith is not Satori, or enlightenment, not even a little Satori, so much more a greater Satori, which leads to absence of desires and constant emotional stability. A person of faith is not supposed to feel or experience special things in order to check if he has faith or not. Faith is knowing. To know you are saved, no matter what you feel or don't feel, no matter you have some deep mystical experiences or not. This is the only constant aspect in a person of faith. He knows he is saved by Amida Buddha. Of course, everyone is different, so I do not deny that some can successfully change or improve various things in their personal lives due to their own specific karmic baggage and the influence of Amida Buddha on them. But nothing can be certain as long as we are still in these samsaric bodies, and as long as desire is not entirely wiped out from our minds. Some have easier lives than others and fewer family problems. Some have strong personalities, while others don't, etc. However, Amida Buddha does not use anything from our unenlightened personality in order to save us. His salvation depends entirely on his infinite merits and power. This is exactly why our entrusting must be completely to him, and why we should not worry about things like emotional instability or various delusions and attachments we have. There is absolutely no condition imposed by Amida Buddha that after we receive faith in him, we should act or feel as if we are not bamboos or spiritual idiots, persons filled with blind passions, anymore. Amida is focused especially on beings who cannot save themselves by any method, and who, due to their strong karmic attachments and blind passions, will never be capable of having a constant emotional stability. Truth be told, only Buddhas have constant emotional stability, because they have no desires and no ups and downs. So we must wait until we ourselves attain Buddhahood in the Pure Land of Amida if we want to be completely free of any emotional instability. Namo Amida Butsu.